would even start attacking text, I want them to think of things and just have stuff go off in their brain as soon as they hear different words. So the first one is slope. The things that I want them to think about when they hear slope. I want them to know that it's the letter M. I want them to know the slope formula, and I want them to think of rise over run because we might need to use that when they give us a graph. So these three things, this is the first thing I talk to them about making sure these pop in your head anytime you see the word slope, especially when you're reading and you see the word slope. The next thing I have them think about is equations of lines. What is an equation of a line? Usually they all want to say y equals mx plus b, which is awesome. And you can see all these equations that I put up here on the board. Y equals 3x minus 4, y equals 2x plus 5, y equals 1/2 x plus 8. They need to notice that there's two numbers in every single equation, and they need to notice where are those numbers plugged in for. So here, everyone has two numbers. They can start seeing that, oh, they're always plugged in for the m and the b. So on every single equation that we do, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept, the m and the b. And so I just say think about what variables are replaced with numbers. And so we're always, anytime they want an equation, again, we always are circling the keyword equation, we're going to look for M and B. So when I look at this, the step one is examine the text feature. So I'm going to look for any titles, subtitles, illustrations. Here we have a picture of a graph. And also we need print, bold, italics. I think in math, we need to add numbers to this one because that's going to always help them anytime they see numbers up here. Obviously, this one's going to be a little bit harder to see numbers, but then later on down the road, we'll use that. Circle any vocabulary, and then our second time through, we're going to underline the details. So we start off, we see that we have a graph, so they should notice that there's a graph. I like them to notice what kind of slope they have right away. They can say that, oh, that's a positive slope. That's just something, if the graph is going uphill, something they can notice right away. I also have them look and see where dots are. It might be nice to label that this one's at +5 up here, this one's at -3 down here, this one is not as necessary, but just kind of examining what they give you first and adding anything. And then we can write the equation of the line. So again, we see that key word that we just talked about on the last page, and they know now, anytime they see the word equation, excuse me, they think y equals mx plus b. And so I kind of helped them out on this one, but later on, I'm going to want them to write m equals and b equals as well anytime they see the word equation. So just by reading it first through, it gave us so much information, and we know what we need to find now. And so they know m, we think slope, we know what that is. So to find the slope, we think rise over run. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1, 2, 3. So we get 5 over 3. It's a positive slope, which we've already determined from our first step. And then we can also find our y-intercept, the place where it crosses the y-axis is at +5. And now we can write our equation of the line. Examining and just reading it one time through and circling our vocabulary, we already could do most of the problem through that. Attacking the text on this one, when I just look at this problem, there's some things that jump out at me. I see that there's a 4. And I see that there's a coordinate right here. And anytime I see a coordinate, I've already trained them to put an x and a y underneath of that. So they put that there. And then that's just examining our text features. Sorry. When they read through this now on their first read, they can see, write the equation. They all circle it. They all write down y equals mx plus b. And they all write m equals b equals on their paper automatically just by seeing this word equation. And then once they start reading it, they're like, oh, slope, I know that that's m, so it's a slope of 4, and then passes through the point that we've already labeled x and y. And so now they can see they have every number, except, whoops, that should be -1. They have every number except for their b. So they can plug everything in and solve for their b. And go through the steps. Just by attacking the text, they have so much of it done already, and that they don't have to think as much because it's automatic steps that they do. And so we get y equals 4x minus 9. Notice a big change now from example 5 to example 6. And they notice that keyword of slope is no longer in there. So now they have to label x, y twice from the very beginning without even reading the question. They see coordinates. Then they can circle their word equation, write down y equals mx plus b, and write down their m equals and b equals automatically. And now they have to think, well, I don't know what either one, m or b, is, but I remember that to find my m, I can use my y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And since I have two coordinates, I can label them and then plug in. So I get 5 over 1, so my slope is 5. And now we talk about picking one set of points and plugging in and finding our b. So we can go through the rest.